Okay, so I think we're working again now. Sorry about that. We don't really know what we're doing here when it comes to live broadcasts quite clearly. But anyway, we're going to kick off now. I'm going to I can't even talk. I'm going to give you 10 minutes worth of questions. So let's start with the very first from Vishal. Best first car. Well, the best first car, it's the Skoda Citigo. It's cheap, it's fun, you get some good insurance deals on it. Nice car. So the next question, can I do a review of the Mazda CX-3? That was from Ross Rubb. Well, Ross, if you look on our Carbuyer YouTube channel, it's on there for you. It's a good car, actually. I think it's probably the best in that category of small SUVs. So, someone whose name I can't pronounce wants to know if I'm going to do some Cadillac content. No. Okay. Another question from Alonso Mar wants to know how I got this job. So originally I was an accountant, got bored of that, and I decided to become a journalist. And I worked on a local paper. Then I applied for a job on Auto Express magazine, and then kind of just took it from there, gradually doing different things within Auto Express, and eventually doing videos because no one else really wanted to do it. Okay. First car, and once again, what first car do I recommend? That's refer you back to the Skoda Citigo question. So Gareth Coran wants to know what's the best car to buy for £10,000. Now, if you're talking new, Hyundai i10's pretty good. You get a nicely spec'd up one for that. Alternatively, for 10 grand, because I've been looking recently, you could get an E46 M3 manual coupe with probably about 70,000 miles on the clock, and I'd probably rather have that than the i10, to tell you the truth, but that's just me. So next question is from, oh, I'm not going to say that, I think it's a bit derogatory, your username, mate. If I can have 5 cars in my garage, old and new, at any price, but no hypercars, what would they be? What? Why you say I can have anything, and then you say I can't have hypercars? I want hypercars. Okay, so what's the point of having a dream garage if you can't have hypercars in there? Right, which is the best 7-seater MPV or SUV for around £25,000? Well, if you need to seat 7 people regularly, you are going to have to face facts and get the MPV, not the SUV. And so we'd recommend, in terms of pricing and what you get in terms of interior space, the Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. It's a good choice. Question from Daniels30. If I had £800,000 to spend on a car, what would it be? It would probably be a flat in Kentish Town, actually, rather than a car, I'm afraid, if someone gave me that money. That's because I do this job, so I get cars in all the time. Seriously, what I'd like, I've always wanted to do this, I think it'd be very funny. I'd like to get a Rolls-Royce Phantom, but then get Rolls who will spec up the car however you want it in a very distinct way. I would like to have it on steel wheels. I'd like the interior completely stripped out and have park benches as the seats to sit on. I'd also like it painted in primer grey, so I'd like to create the ultimate anti-Rolls-Royce and then drive it occasionally past their factory just to kind of rub their noses in it. Just because I think it'd be fun. So, what would be the safest car to buy for a first-time driver? Well, if you look at our Carbuyer Best Off section on our website for the safest cars, according to Euro NCAP point scoring system, the Volvo V40 comes out on top. But you might be safer in something like an M1 Abrams tank. But I'm not sure how road legal they are. Probably doesn't matter whether they're road legal. You've got a big gun, go where you want. Okay, can I do a review of the new Fiat 500? We will be doing that soon. Don't think it's quite available in the UK. As soon as it is, we're going to drive it, we're going to review it, and we'll have it online as soon as possible for you guys. So, next question. Okay, quite a lot of what is the best car for first-time drivers, which I've already covered. What is the best budget car that you would recommend which is not a Dacia? So, they're not really budget anymore, but Hyundai i10 is a pretty good car for the money. It's actually surprisingly good to drive in terms of like the way it handles and comfort. It's reasonably spacious and it's cheap to buy, run, and insure. Okay, what is the best used car for around £2,000? I really want to get a car which is great for everyday city use. I mean, because there's just so many of them, I would always look towards a Ford Fiesta. They're plentiful, they're cheap, they're good cars, and they're quite easy to repair. I actually just sold my mother's old Seat Leon, the Gen 1 car, for about £2,000, and that was a good car, but you know, it had a diesel engine, so it's actually better for longer distances rather than just city use. But you can pick those up much cheaper than the equivalent Golf when they're essentially the same car, so that's worth considering if you want something a bit bigger than the Ford Fiesta. Will we do comparison videos? Asked Sebastian Turk Allergy. Well, yes, we've done a few already, and I'm now looking at doing one in the next few weeks with the new Audi Q7, the Volvo XC90, and the Land Rover Discovery. I think that's going to be a really tough one to call. Okay. Okay, so someone wants to know if I have ever driven a Malaysian car before, such as a Proton or a Perodua. Okay, so yes, I've driven a Proton Gen 2, I've driven a Proton, what was the one that Lotus did all the, I can't remember, it was some kind of GTI Proton, can't remember the name. It was a long time ago, and they were a little bit down on what the European cars were at the time, and so now I think they feel a bit archaic. I drove a Perodua ages and ages and ages ago, and it was pretty horrible. So, okay, another question. Have I ever driven a Seat Leon Cupra, and will we be doing a Carbuyer review of one? So, easy to answer. Yes, I've driven the Seat Leon Cupra. We actually had one here in the office as a long-term car for 6 months, so I got a few goes in that, and very impressive, understated, super fast, dead easy to drive, and also surprisingly comfortable and economical for a car that can do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. In terms of the review, I'm not doing it. Ginny is going to be doing it. In fact, she's done it already. It's going to be online in the next day or so. It's there, it's edited, it's waiting to go, so look out for that one. So, next question. What is the BMW M125 M Sport like? I don't know, I haven't driven that, I'm afraid. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have bothered reading that out. Need a producer, I think. Okay, name a future classic car from the last 5 to 10 years, but don't just say Golf, Mark 5 or Mark 6 GTI. Try something original, but not just a Ferrari or some supercar, a normal car, what people can afford. I actually thought about this the other day, what the car that would be potentially worth investing in. Maybe really, really, really far down the line when the other ones have rotted away. Maybe the Citroen C4 Cactus, because it's just so different. I'm not sure how many are going to be sold. If the lower the numbers, the better. But there's something about classic Citroens, and it does that thing that Citroen does by not following the mainstream, and that makes it quirky and interesting. And so, yeah, maybe in future it could be a classic. Okay, does the Mazda 2 have a playful chassis? And will I do a review of the new MX-5? Yes and yes. For that kind of car, the Mazda 2 is pretty good fun to drive. It and the Fiesta are the best in that class. If you like a Super Mini, they'll put a smile on your face, either nipping around city streets or on a twisty B road. Will I do a review of the Mazda MX-5? Absolutely. I'm going to be bagging that car for me to review. Sorry, Ginny, but that's just the way it's going to be. I love MX-5, so I want to review it. And I've already reviewed it for Auto Express, so if you look on Auto Express's website or Facebook page, you'll find a very small video I did of that car there. Right. So, Steve-O, UK 99. Boxster or TT Roadster and some change. I personally would go for the Boxster. Whether it's right for everyone else, I would say that the the Roadster, the TT Roadster, is probably the better all-round car for people who don't put driving dynamics above all else. For me, though, I would. If you're going for a sports car, get the Porsche. That's what they do. Make great sports cars. So, someone wants to know, what's the best hybrid 4x4? It has to be the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. So you get incredibly low emissions figures. So if you're a company car driver, I think I worked out that it's the same price in terms of tax as a 1 litre Fiesta to have that big 5-seater SUV. When am I going to review the new Audi R8? Well, the international launch has just happened, and so it's going to take a couple of months until we get the cars in the UK. As soon as it's here in the UK, I'm going to be reviewing it. You might have seen on our YouTube feed that we've just reviewed the Mercedes GT, so the AMG GT. So if you want some sports car action in the meantime, go to our YouTube channel and just have a watch of that video. Right, we're almost at the end of this session, so let's have a look. Let's pick one last question. And see, someone's calling me to tell me to stop. There we go. Brilliant. It's one of my film guys, actually. Probably one of my edits went wrong. Okay, so why are most car journalists very boring, and why do they think that their job definition includes overusing words like refined, very good, very fast, and very comfy? Are you having a dig at me there, Kanyeva? Are you? Hey? Don't know what I've been saying. Okay, refined. I'm with you on that. What does refined mean? So I'll probably say it's quiet. Very good. I don't know. It's good. You'd say it's bad at something. It's not bad saying using those kind of words. Basically, on Carbuyer, the way we like to do things is keep it simple. So the idea is that the reviews are designed for people, just normal people who are wanting some buying advice. So we like to kind of cut out all the jargon. So we won't go into kind of the minutiae and really complicated ways of explaining stuff. If something's good, we'll say it's good. If it's bad, we'll say it's bad, rather than trying to be all flowery and clever with our language. Makes it easier when people are just normal people are trying to get an idea of what a car's like. Anyway, I hope that kind of clears some things up, and I hope I've answered your question. I seem to have got through quite a lot of these, and we'll be doing more in the future. And I promise next time we will ensure that it's slicker. I do apologise for the beginning of this video. If you're still watching, I'll be amazed. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.